the evaluation essay, and it kind of helps if we start off thinking of those best of polls. You guys know what those are? You see them a lot. There's the best of Lexington, and there's something like tops of Lexington. They have them all over the place. What are they basically? Best of. Yeah, places to go, things to do. Can you think of any other? Yeah, a lot of them are places to eat. Favorite places to eat, entertainment type things, clubs to go to, other types of music.
Hotels to stay at.
Hotels is another popular one. Food's usually the really big one because everybody has an interest in that almost. Sometimes they'll have like services like the best doctor or the best dentist. And how are these best of, how do they come about usually?
Polls.
Yeah, a lot of times it's just a poll. People will vote. A lot of times it's electronically. People kind of send email voting for their favorite thing, or they'll go online and they'll click for their favorite person, or for whomever they're voting for. That's usually how a lot of these best of things evolve. I actually went online looking for something, possibility of something I could show you real quick. The only thing I found locally was the top, it was Ace Magazine best of. Is anybody familiar with Ace Magazine? Well, I was going through the restaurant listings, and all of them were downtown. And I went through some of the other entertainment venues. They're all downtown. And then I realized, oh, that's kind of where the fan base or the reader base of that magazine is located. It's kind of the downtown area, kind of the artsy scene. It's like, okay, well that makes sense. So this is the audience for that particular magazine. So when we have the best of, we're usually evaluating something. It's good, it's bad, it's the best, or the worst. So kind of thinking along with those times, we are associating some sort of value with the thing that we're evaluating, whether it's a person, a place, or a thing. So let me give you a little statement here. Here's my statement here. The Empire Strikes Back is the best movie ever made because of its storyline, unforgettable characters, and groundbreaking special effects. So what I am evaluating here is this particular movie, The Empire Strikes Back. This is what I'm evaluating. This is my evaluative term. It's the best and movie ever made is the category that I'm placing it in. Because of its storyline, its unforgettable characters, and its groundbreaking special effects. At least at the time they were groundbreaking. So now I'm going to give you a little formula for how this works. I'm going to say X is the best. We could also say worst, good, bad, mediocre, somewhere in between. Y if measured by A, B, and C. Just a little formula that we're going to be working with here. X is the best Y if measured by A, B, and C. So again, X would be our thing, in this case movie, that we're evaluating. This is called our evaluative term. And this is our Y term. In this case, it would be movie. If measured by, and then A, B, and C are our criteria by which we are measuring this. So I worded mine a little bit different. I had because of instead of if measured by. But again, this is just kind of a mechanical starting point. You don't have to structure your main idea as mechanically as this, but this is just to make sure that we get everything in there and that we understand what each of the parts are. So again, this is our X term, this is our Y term, this is our evaluative term, and then these would be our criteria, A, B, and C. And so I have each of those here. This would be my X term, the movie The Empire Strikes Back. This right here, best, would be my evaluative term. Movie would be my Y term. And then my criteria would be, its storyline would be A, unforgettable characters would be B, and groundbreaking special effects would be C. So even though it doesn't have to be worded in this exact way, your evaluation needs to have all of the above. Right
It
here.
has to have 3 at least, or?
No, it doesn't have to have 3. That's just something you just need to make sure you have some criteria.
Okay.
You could have 10
Okay.
if you wanted. You could have 2. But again, we're writing an essay, so the more criteria you have, the more you have to talk about. Any questions so far on the very basics of our structure? We have to have all of this. In some, it doesn't have to be in that order, but we need to make sure that we have this. So. Now our evaluative term, I put best and worst up here. But you could have, I mean, those are the kind of the extremes. You could have anywhere in the middle. You could have mediocre. You could have okay. And anywhere in between there. But I would like for you to stick with these types of words instead of using other adjectives, like The Empire Strikes Back is a nice movie. Well, in this case, nice, you're meaning, you don't mean friendly, you're meaning good, or okay, or somewhere in there. So I would like you to kind of, even though you can vary your term here, best, worst, anywhere in the middle, stick with, kind of good and bad framework. So there's a range of possible evaluative terms. There also are different types of criteria. Criteria, you need to keep in mind, needs to be criteria that your audience will accept. An example, let's say you're evaluating a pizza restaurant, and you think it is the best pizza restaurant in the world because you're a vegetarian and they have the best vegetarian pizza ever. And that's great for you, but everyone else might not be a vegetarian and they might not agree with just that criterion. Now you can use that as one possible criterion, but you need to have more, because remember, what is your audience going to accept? So keep that in mind. Also, the different types of criteria. There's 3 different basic types.
What was X again? I'm sorry.
X is the thing that you're evaluating. So in
Okay.
this case, it was Empire Strikes Back. If you were evaluating Pizza Hut, it would be Pizza Hut. So yeah, so X is the thing that you're evaluating. Y is the category that it is. And we'll talk about that in just a minute. That'll be kind of coming a little bit later. The 3 different types of criteria are aesthetic, practical, and moral. What are aesthetics? What does that have to do with? Yeah, it has to do with the sensory images. Normally we think of what something looks like, or it could be also, what something tastes like, smells like, feels like. So aesthetics is how something appeals to us in those sensory images, or how something looks good to us, or feels good to us. It can have to do with how comfortable your chair is, or how nice something looks. So that's what aesthetics has to do with. Next we have practical. Practical criteria can have to do with things like money. How economical is something? How does it rank on value? Does it have practical reasoning? We'll do some examples here just to kind of clarify in just a minute. Then we have moral. How are the criteria based on ethics, and right and wrong? Are these good reasons to do something in the sense of right and wrong or appropriate? Okay. So to kind of help us to kind of really realize what these are, let's take let's try computers. I'm just going to say just computers in general. If we were evaluating a specific type of computer, I'm not going to give you a specific one, kind of picture one. What are some criteria that would help us evaluate it on the aesthetic level?
The size.
Yeah, does it have, well, and it can be both ways. Aesthetics can be, is it big enough where I can actually see the screen? Big screen, I'm thinking like a monitor or even a laptop. Is the screen big enough where I can actually see it? Or, and then also, kind of on the flip side of that, thinking laptop, is it small enough, light enough, that makes recording it around, carrying it around, a lot easier? So that kind of has to do with aesthetics too, because it's, how's it going to feel when you're packing it around? So we have, let's make our list right here. So we have size. What are some other aesthetic reasons behind that we might use to I'm just going to put
The design of them, they're like those laptops with the decorative colors on them, things like that.
Right, yeah, so we have design, colors,
Maybe the sound system?
yeah, the sound system.
What about the graphics card? Guess it would be the same thing.
Yeah, because it's gonna have to do with your visual experience of the,
Materials, made of?
yeah, how does, and the materials that it's constructed. What about practical? What might be some practical considerations we would be looking for? Yeah, affordable, did you say something? Heard somebody said
You
some,
said same,
same
lines.
thing? Yeah, is it affordable? You know, is it economical?
Does it have the software you need, or does it, do you have to have it?
Yeah, does it come with the software already installed? Or are you gonna have to spend more money for the software that you really need the computer for? Yeah, is there a warranty? I spelled that right. What are some other practical criteria?
Is it like a current computer that can handle?
Yeah, how up to date?
Up to date,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, you don't want something that's already outdated.
Is the laptop something that we want?
What about viruses? The virus
Like
proof?
with the software that's installed?
Yeah, that would. Okay, let's go down to moral now. What are some moral or ethical considerations we might think about?
Where the car was manufactured.
Yeah, where and maybe where/how it was
Yeah.
manufactured, yeah. And by by where it was manufactured, what would it mean by that?
Like a third world country.
Yeah, like where it was manufactured, you know, was it manufactured internationally, you know, versus something domestic? And then also, you know, was it manufactured somewhere where the workers aren't treated very well, or, you know, maybe some, is that what you were
Yes.
getting at? Yeah. Because that has kind of ethical concerns, you know, is it okay to buy something that was made, even if it's cheap, if it was manufactured in an unethical manner, say?
About whether or not it was either stolen or from the store. Would that be
Okay,
it or not?
well, yeah, that would, definitely, you know, is it hot or is it, you know, so I'm just gonna put stolen question mark.
Maybe the material that it's made out of?
Yes, that could actually cover, you know, several of these, really. You know, what's it made out of?
Are there any companies making computers out of recycled materials?
I believe that.
That's what I was, yeah, that was gonna be my next question, as far as, you know,
Well,
materials.
specifically, does anybody know? I'll just.
I think they do, but I know for sure they make it out of those computers that they give like, I know the other countries like little kids, they make them out fully recyclable, but they're like really primitive like design.
Yeah.
But they're like little laptops for kids to learn in other countries.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know if there's any specific company that does that, but that would definitely fit under here. Is, you know, is it made out of recycled material, or is it all new or mostly new? Yeah.
What would it be like? What company is from? I guess it would be the same thing. How it's-
Well, yeah, I mean, the company who produced it and their business practices. I'm just looking at the company's, you know, business practices. Are they ethical or not? So, and again, you don't have to, when you're thinking of your criteria, you don't have to have, you know, one of each of these. That's not the point here. The point is to think about criterion that are other than just purely practical or purely aesthetic. You know, think of a wide range of different types of criteria. That'll be more effective in, you know, convincing your audience.